Okay, now we are, though. Oh, whoa, we are back. Here we are. We're doing this for the first time. It's the Seneca 2D stream and the Vis Dev stream together in one jar. Shake them up and you get 8 cartoons, folks. We have 72 students that have made cartoons together, and they're still friends. And one cartoon is almost done, so we'll have some, we'll jump through some hoops near the end. But basically, this is Toon Week, and here at Seneca, what we do is we give the students teams, we give them a cartoon to copy, a style to copy, and we give them a theme. And then they have 1 week, or in this case, 4 days, plus the long weekend, to figure out, to write a story. And the theme we gave them this year was Ghosted. So some of them, they took the title of it, and they're like, fine, our cartoon's called Ghosted. Great. Other people, they made it more incognito, more hidden, more, well, they did a great job. I'm going to stop talking. There's a lot of people to thank, and now there's so many professors and whatnot. I'm just going to thank the coordinators. So I'm going to thank Jim Graves and David Bluestein. Give it up for those guys. They okayed things. And I'd just like to thank all of the faculty. We got Anda here. We got Steve Quaddy in the back, who's not related to this, but he's just beautiful. He's a beautiful guy. But anyway, give it up for your professors that came in. A huge shout out to Ashley as well, who helped with backgrounds on all this. So we're just going to go into it. So with all these cartoons, they're given a different style. So the first one, we had OK Go, OK KO. We're going to play, so how it's going to go today is we're going to play the cartoon, and then we're going to pull back, and then we're going to meet the team that did it. And they're going to give a little presentation about who did what, because at the end of the day, it's about the cartoons, but it's also about the folks that made it. And so celebrating the art, celebrating the artwork, celebrating the passion behind all this. You guys ready? Okay. So here we go. We're going to play the first cartoon. It's called Well, Well, Well. All right, let's get that whole team from well. See if you can make your way down here, folks. Well. And so now we're going to talk from this angle. Your slides. So come through. Who's the director? Whose idea was this whole silly thing?
We have two.
Two directors. How beautiful. Come, two directors. Come to us. All right, so center right around there. Tell us a bit about what's going on. This is our clicker that we can click, so it's clicking on that one. So, who are you?
I'm Jones, and
I'm Parker.
and we directed Well. To be honest, it wasn't we didn't pitch this idea. It was somebody else. I think she should come up too.
Mary.
It was Mary's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was the writer. First, shout out to Sama. This whole thing wouldn't have been as organized as it was if it wasn't for her, bro. So thank you for that. To be honest, I'm really happy with how this came out, especially for like the limited amount of days we had. For me personally, and I think it went so well just because like our team all really got along. I'm happy that we're all still friends and stuff, and that we all worked really well together. And I feel like we filled in a lot of like weaknesses. I feel like a lot of weaknesses we had was other people's strengths, and we kind of like played well into that.
We did good.
Yeah, we
I
did
think.
good.
All things considered. All right.
Get clicking.
It's not working. I'm pressing the button.
Which one?
Which one?
The big one.
Yeah.
Well,
Well.
maybe it wasn't selected.
All right. Okay. Storyboards. We have our main story artist, Amos. I want to come up and say just like a little bit about what inspired your boards.
I watched a lot of the show. I'll try and be quick because I know we're unlimited. But yeah, I watched a lot of the show before we started. I was trying to keep it as like simple as possible because I know that we still have only like a couple of days, even though we do have a big team and a lot of like layout artists on this team and a lot of layout painters. I didn't want to stretch our resources too thin, so I tried to keep it a little simple and play into a lot of like the comedy action part of it. I did kind of like thumbs for the board. Jason is kind of like our MVP on the board. He did a lot of the revisions and animated my thumbs, and it looks really nice because of him. But yeah.
All right. We got color scripts, which was done by in collab Salma and Jason.
Hello. I did the color scripts. It was mainly to keep everything like consistent and to help out our background painters. It was pretty like straightforward. Most of the scenes share the same color script. It's just like at the very end when there's like a theme shift that it gets like a little lighter, maybe like color shift a little bit. But really that's it. We did a lot of exploration that we couldn't end up using because of the time crunch, but that's it.
All right. We have some character designs. Anea did our design for the boy.
Yeah, so I did the design for the boy based on Mary's story. He's like a little shy, like nerdy kind of boy. I wanted to make him cute and lovable. We just went through a bunch of iterations that I did on the first slide up there, and then we just as a team chose like the features that we liked about like each character, and then we like Frankensteined it to make this boy here.
Little guy.
Yeah.
And then our other character was designed by Jones.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, I'm back. Yeah, so I was the lead character designer. To be honest, I didn't really have to lead that much because Anea was killing it with the designs as well. Same thing with our director, you guys were killing it. But yeah, so for the ghost girl, I took a lot of inspiration. There's like two variations, there's like the small one and the tall one, and most of it was just kind of deciding between that before I went into the actual design. A couple inspiration I took a lot of inspiration, if you couldn't tell, from like Marceline, because I really liked like the big hair and I thought it could be really emotive, especially for that big shot near the end. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. A lot of exploration. We wanted her to be scary. That's kind of why it has the monster mode. But we also kind of wanted her. Can't look too scary because she's actually nice. It's just like all misunderstanding, right? So, yeah, I think I did pretty good.
Yeah, Mary and I did props. We have the little chocolate coin that the boy throws into the well, and the well itself, which OKKO is a very simple show style. So it was taking more complicated designs and complicated ideas and trying to simplify them down into something that felt like it fit. Okay, layout. I love layout. Most beautiful thing in the entire world. This was a really, really rough location design that we did, just to give the board artists to get an idea of how things were placed. And then these are some of our layouts. we had a lot of them. We had like 11, which is a bit excessive, but we all pulled through and got them done. And they turned out pretty fun, pretty cool. All right, and BG Paint, which Tucker was our BG Paint lead.
Yeah.
Hello, I like to color, and I color the backgrounds. Oh my gosh, we had 11 shots to paint, and so shout out to our background team. Like, Anea did 3 layouts in one day. That was insane. I did that really big panning shot, which took forever to get the style right, because OKKO's style is so painterly, and it looks amazing, and I wanted to get it right. And thank you to Mary for taking over on the sunrise scene that happens at the end. Beautiful color palette. It turned out so well.
All right, rigging.
We're back. I'm back for the 3rd time. Obviously, Anea couldn't do her own rig just because she's in Vis Dev, and you don't really learn that in the curriculum for Vis Dev. But I got to rig my own, so that was pretty cool. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. Perfectly industry standard rig. Nothing's wrong with it at all. Didn't break. Did not break whatsoever. Perfect in every way. But it's kind of like my kid, and every time it breaks, it kind of makes me sad. But, yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
I made the other rig. Also industry standard rig. I promise that was just mostly me messing up when I was animating it. But I had a great design to work off of. He mostly works. He was not meant to turn around though, to be honest. The more cool part was actually the creator of OKKO, Ian Jones-Cordy, posts the actual line art brush for the characters on his Twitter as a Photoshop file. So I was fighting with Toon Boom on the first day to get that brush imported into Harmony so I can make the rigs with the line art. And I made the coin rig with the line art. Turned out pretty cool. I tried to export the brush, but it actually exported just a regular brush with no texture. So all of our rigs, to recover that texture, are built on top of the coin rig. So all of our files are like twice as big as they should be. And in all of our files, we have a tiny little node that contains an entire rig for the coin prop that just says do not delete because the brush texture is somewhere in there. And it works, And I think the texture adds a lot, and I like how the rigs turned out, and our animators did a great job using them.
Speaking of animation, wow, we didn't have to do a ton of roughs because of Jason's board revisions, where we had the boards, Jason went in and practically did all of the rough animation in the boards themselves. So we were like, let's not waste time, let's just kind of go for it. So we had a pretty streamlined process in that regard. A few of our scenes were hand-drawn just because the rig couldn't really be worked into some of the pretty intense expressions you can get in OKKO. So yeah, pretty fun time working with rigs and trying to figure that out. For the most part, they were very good to work with, I will say. So thank you to our rigging team. All right, we got some comp stuff. We did all of our comp in Harmony because it was just easier that way. And luckily, OKKO is not a comp-heavy show. So it was just adding some color to the characters to make sure they fit into our layouts. And we got some sound. I did music, Jones did sound effects.
Yeah.
So I just threw together some really quick stuff inspired by the show's soundtrack, which luckily was up on YouTube, which is beautiful. And
I feel like a lot of I would say the skills with me and Parker co-directing kind of works out in the end, because I feel like a lot of the things I don't like to do, he also likes to do, and a lot of things he doesn't like to do, I like to do. So it kind of we become one complete artist together.
Together, we merge.
It's like Voltron.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we have marketing last. Electra, who is not here today, was our marketing lead because she was they were at home the whole time, so they were kind of helping behind the scenes to make sure that we actually got our marketing out, because we were all sitting here crunching like crazy to get it done. So thank you, Electra.
Shout out, Electra.
For carrying us in terms of marketing. We really, really appreciate it. Yeah, these are some line art shots. We didn't end up using the middle one because of lack of time. But yeah, and this is the creator giving us the little resources that we ended up using. Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Nice. Nice. Give it up. Those guys. Team number 1. All right. So we're going to go off to... Can we do Ride and Die as the director here now?
Yes.
Wait, hey. Well, then that's great. And let's see if the last film was uploaded. Not yet. Maybe eventually. All right. Well, we'll keep going with it. So this is the second one. This is called Ride and Die. And this is Rocko's Modern Life was the style that we gave to him. So here we are. We're going to watch this, and then we'll pull the team down. So team, get ready to run right after we play it.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Billy.
As the team comes on down, come on team, come on team. So let's go with directors. Directors. Come on through, yeah. Here we go, everyone's coming in. Into zooming out. All right, come on in. So here's the clicker action, and we can go in. So tell us about your cartoon.
All right, so we got Rocko's Modern Life as our theme, as our style, not our theme. We got Ghosted as our theme, like everyone else. We didn't want to go the traditional definition of ghosted because we all kind of found that a little bit boring. So
Can we stand in the middle?
stand in the middle.
Yeah, look at the thing and give me in the middle. There you go.
All right. I'm running on low sleep.
Okay.
All night. Anyways, we didn't want to do the traditional definition of ghosted, and we wanted a fun way to kind of show that. So let's go with our production manager. Come on up.
I'm production manager, and I did backgrounds, and that took the whole 3 days. There was a lot of work, a lot of backgrounds. We were kind of silly. We made like 6,
Yeah.
so it took a while to get done. And next we have Paige. Okay. Am I in? Okay,
You
great.
have to look up there. Just look. This is where you are, and then you can look right there.
Okay,
Okay.
fantastic. Okay, so I was the character design lead, and I helped with props and animation. So basically, what my job was, I was in charge of making the characters look as close as possible to the show style of Rocko's Modern Life. So I had to make sure that, like, just every minute detail was as on point as it could be. Like the eyes, the hands, the nose, and yeah, that was pretty much it.
You're really on top of it. You're on top of so much.
Thank you.
Next we have Mamta.
So, I was prop lead, I was part of storyboard, and I was the music and sound lead, and I also ended up painting some backgrounds. There was a lot of work, but I'm glad that I was able to support other teams. And when Paige said that she helped, she honestly carried, honestly. Like we were co-leads. I couldn't have done it without her. And I had a lot of fun doing a style that was basically like super simple and wacky. This was a very expressive project, and I'm glad to have been part of it.
Yeah.
And next up is Megan.
Megan. Guys, honestly, one of the MVPs of our whole production was like everywhere.
I was storyboard lead, but honestly, everyone here did such a good job with helping with the story. I was animator. I helped with background and layout, and I was part of the marketing team. The storyboard was we had to go through a lot of revisions in order to get a very cohesive narrative across, but I think it turned out really well in the end. And yeah. And next up is Will.
So I help with storyboarding, animation, and I built Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and FX animation. Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
You did a lot. You did a lot. Not just that's it, but yeah. Next up is Josephine.
Hi, I'm animation lead, and
You also rigged Ron, right?
I built Ron too, and it was really complicated. But Will helped me, and Anda too, so that was really fun. And Rocko's modern life animation is really wacky and expressive, with everything like squash and stretch and everything. So that was really fun to work with. Thank you.
Next is Leo.
Hello, chat. So I was in charge of character design and also marketing, but I could say especially I was more in charge of memes because it was, tense the situation, too many like crunch hours. But yeah, thank you so much, guys.
And I see Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul. I was color lead, so mostly I made the color palette and made sure that every color that we used was on style. And I also made the color guides that all the techniques we were using for the background designs were consistent. And I also made the color script, and it was challenging because the show doesn't really use cinematic lighting, and they don't really play with temperature that much, so it was challenging in that way. I also help with background painting, animating, and a little bit of compositing. That's all.
Even though I was director of this team, everyone was really, really strong in their positions, and was just everywhere in the production. I couldn't have asked for a better team because everyone was so strong with where they were. Oh, that's backwards. We originally started doing story production on Miro. Miro is a very fun site. I love Miro. Me and Meg were just kind of throwing ideas back and forth. These are some of the storyboards as well. A lot of revisions there. How do I?
Hit it again. It'll play. Hit it again.
Hit it again? Okay. Oh, wrong way. This is the animatic. This is the character designed by Paige. If you want.
If I needed to.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So this was the character that I designed. This is Billy. We went through a couple of phases to try and figure out the colors and also the ghost colors, which are on that side. The right.
Yeah, you're the right side.
Okay, the right side.
Yeah.
He was really fun. I really enjoyed designing him. I think he was like the most fun I had. That's all. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
And then for Ron, Leo had designed Ron.
Okay, so for Ron, actually, closer?
Yeah.
Chat. So basically for Ron, I was basically thinking, okay, I need to make a character that is kind of small. And actually, I was inspired by me because, I'm not that tall, unfortunately. I hate that. So I made first a squirrel, right? And that it didn't like match accordingly, so I asked Paige for feedback, and she told me, "Hey, you saw, just change the nose." I was like, "Oh, thank you, Paige. You're so sweet." after that, I actually got a super good idea from Paul. He told me, hey, let's change the color of this rat from brown to red. And I was like, oh, Ron Weasley. Yeah, let's do that. So that's Ron. Thank you.
Then for the props were also designed by Paige and Mamta. I helped rig the bush, and Will had rigged the cart that's there. Paige had made the little size comparison beside the bush. These color guides were by Paul and Will, and honestly, they were just Paul. They're made by Paul, and the most helpful thing ever. It really helped with the style. The 90s have a very specific style of color for their shows. These color overs of the storyboards were also extremely helpful by Paul. And the design for the roller coaster by Mamta and Paige. This study done by Rhea, which was extremely helpful for getting the general vibe of where we wanted to set our story. The storyboard panel of the railing POV done by Megan. And that, the bottom right one was by...
I did all of them.
You did all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
So Megan's storyboards were so detailed, I need to really do sketches, but I drew all the layouts and I lined them all over the course of 2 days. And I learned how to make layouts for animation in those 2 days, so I would make my files really big. And they were all they were so big we couldn't download them.
She was learning on the job. Yeah. She was learning on the job, and she honestly did a phenomenal job. Also done by Rhea, and were they painted by you as well?
Romka helped me a lot, and Paul's color keys. I just color picked from that.
Paul's color keys really came in clutch. These are the rigs. Ron's rig was done by Josephine, and Billy's rig was done by Will. Some of the animations. Are you just looping? All right, yeah. These were some of the marketing things that we've done. Who was the one marketing again?
Me and Leo.
One more time, talk about it.
So for marketing, we wanted to do something that was more in line with the characters because we thought that they had a cool contrast and a really cool dynamic. So we brought the director, the character designer, and the rigger, the rig creator aside, and we all did an interview of
Those
just
are
playful
great, by the way.
questions.
Those are really great.
I
Yeah.
couldn't have done it without
I wasn't
Leo.
getting paid, so that sucks. But it's whatever. But
Yeah.
actually, at one point, we were like, she actually told me, hey, let's do something more fun instead. Instead of asking technical questions that everyone here knows, let's do some funny stuff. Let's just ask funny questions. That's it. And that's when I realized, hey, let's ask the rigger, Will, the guy over there. Let's ask, hey, if you had to fight in a 1v1, because I like violence, right? I like fights, he told me Billy because Billy's bland, I guess. I don't know. What do you want to fight Billy?
What?
Why do you want to fight Billy?
He's like a nerd.
Because he's a nerd. Yeah. Because you're. Well, that's it basically. Sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, that was it. Was it basically. We had a lot of fun doing the recording of those videos, the rest of these posters were mostly made by Leo. He did a great job.
I didn't get paid as well.
Emulating the style.
Where can people watch these videos you guys made that are at home maybe watching?
You can watch it you can watch them on Instagram, on the Seneca 2D, or from Seneca Vis Dev, on Instagram from the Reels. And yeah. Okay.
These were some of the voices that were done for both Ron and Billy. And me and Leo, I voiced Billy. It was honestly really fun to... My friends in first year always knew I did this nerd voice as a joke. And it was really fun to put that to use in a production. As well as Leo really did the role of Ron really well.
I tried my best. I think it's because I'm short, so that
Yeah. And he designed him, so that probably also helped. This is some VFX done by Will. The smears, the sweats. Yeah. Compositing was not the easiest thing in the world. We kind of started it really late, and since I was in charge of that, I didn't necessarily know Adobe After Effects that well, and something to take into consideration for the future to get to know the program better before trying to use it. But yeah, that's that.
But yeah.
But yeah.
Boom! They did it. They did it, folks. Another round of applause. All right. Well, that was 2 cartoons down. Should we watch another one, guys? Yeah? Should we watch the Scott Pilgrim inspired one? Okay. Well, we're going to do it then, Anda. Should we play it? We're going to play The Date. And you're watching right here, the old Seneca 2D Vis Dev live stream. Hello.
We are Sex Bob, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff!
Come on down, Team Pilgrim. We will see. We will see, Team Pilgrim. Who's your director?
I am the director.
Come on, direct us on what happened.
Hello, guys. I'm the director, and I'm dressed like Scott Pilgrim character today. So, with this story, we wanted to keep it simple with ghosting because what is Scott Pilgrim about? A guy who wants to get a girl, and he has to fight 7 evil people. So we're like, what if we kept within the dating scene, but kept into the simplicity of what actual ghosting is? So here's our team. So I'm gonna go into character design. By the way, I'm the director. I'm the lead of the just design in general. I helped around quite a bit. But so for the designs, we all kind of as a group made our own separate designs. We were like, let's make a bunch of our own stuff and let's Frankenstein them together and see what we can come up with. We ended up using a design by Brandon and by Wole, and we ended up with these. And I'm gonna pass it on. We did some props. I'm gonna pass it on to storyboard. So I did some beat boards, and John, he was our main lead storyboard artist, but all of us helped around with it.
Hi everybody, it's Evil Animator #1, John. Anyways, for the storyboard, so Jen made the general story, and I just basically followed her beat boards. I kind of wanted to make it feel like how I would wake up in the morning. I guess like you're just lying down there for a second before you stand up and contemplating your life and all the crap. And, you know, brush your teeth, change, get up, all the other crap. And then, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. I don't think that there's anything special I did. But I also want to emphasize minimal animation because we want the quality of 2D animation, but we have so little time. So we just prioritize minimal movements so that we get a little bit more bang for our buck. So yeah, that's basically it.
Yes. So next we had our color script. So me and Juna, we both did the color script. I did the first half, she did the second half, and we mashed it together. We wanted to play with a lot of the colors in the show. The show is very based in realism for their backgrounds. We'll get into that soon, but a lot of their colors, we played around with a lot of them.
For the main color script, we kind of wanted stuff to go very bright at the beginning and then slowly kind of change later in the mood shift to kind of get like something isn't really adding up as it is. At first, it was like maybe we should keep it something the same, but as Jen and I were kind of discussing it and then looking at each other's shots, honestly, it was so fun picking out the colors for this thing. It was a little bit challenging to make it look not too saturated or not too gray at times, but honestly, it was very fun and very motivating to see like us working together and to make something like this and it going well.
And we had to crunch it out on day one so we can move on to the backgrounds.
Backgrounds, hey, I'm Bradley, nice to meet y'all. I was in charge of all the 3D integration and background design stuff, along with Geraldine, who's currently off screen. Yeah, so we decided to use 3D for the Scott Pilgrim because they end up in the show they end up using a lot of 3D sets and backgrounds and such. Unfortunately, I can't light or texture, so we decided to paint over it. Yeah, so here's some of the renders we used for our backgrounds. It was a lot of fun doing this. Honestly, the Blender was really easy to learn. I was learning on the job. Do wish I could have textured it, but hey, our paintings looked really nice at the end. Big thing about this Scott Pilgrim style is that they have a lot of like realistic kind of things because it's actually lit in a 3D set. So a difficult part of doing the paintings were trying to mimic the actual 3D sets from the scenes. That was a headache, but it was a lot of fun. And I think that they turned out really well. Yeah, so let's hand it over to what's our riggers.
Hello, I am Wole, and this is Corey. We decided to, well, we're part of the rigging team, two halves of a whole. After banging out our designs, we decided to immediately get on to what aspects we would reduce time on animating by using rigs. And we thought using face rigs would be the most effective way of kind of keeping on style and also just saving time. Don't look at the node views. Those are very messy, but turned out really.
If it works, it works.
Exactly. It's like a Matryoshka, infinite Russian nesting doll. So, you want to go for a rough animation?
You could go for it. It's fine.
I took the role of lead animator, and a lot of it was just a lot of, I guess, draw overs, and kind of making sure a lot of the motion felt like lively, because we were one of the only groups that decided to do mostly hand-drawn. I don't know if I regret it. My hand hurts, but you know, we push forward.
It was a challenge, but it seemed like everyone was able to be able to make it finish and on time too, which is very surprisingly with we doing hand-drawn instead of breaking. But
we also have a fish eye lens with two characters walking away. What the freak? That shot took like the whole week.
That took like 4 different animators.
And it ended up looking good. Same with the mirror shot. And next.
Music and audio. I am a child of Adobe Creative Suite, so Premiere is like my playground. Ignore the messy timeline. We decided to leave editing to this morning, but YouTube to MP3 was a really useful resource, and so was my blue snowball in my bathroom, because faucets. Yeah, that was most of the audio stuff. I just kind of sat in my room and composed music with my little guitar and interface. Yeah. And this is text graphics.
We had some graphics and marketing. Brandon really helped with
Brandon,
this.
get over here.
Hello, I'm Brandon, obviously. So I mostly just took care of graphics, logo. I did the scene over there. A lot of Scott Pilgrim is just like based off of video games, so I took a lot of inspiration from video games. I think my first day on the job was literally just hunting down like a good font. And then for texting, I did that too, but Jen actually made a really amazing font for us to just use, which
I stayed up at 6 a.m. because I was about to sleep and I woke up at 6 and I was like, I need to make a font. And I pumped it out in 20 minutes and we had a beautiful font that you could see in the text. It's all hand-drawn font.
yeah. And then I woke up in the morning, I felt awful because I didn't do enough. And then I also helped out with marketing. Our lead was Juna, though. Juna.
So I chose to do a lot more on my plate than I thought I could, because I was the idiot that chose to. What? Oh, okay. Because I was the idiot that chose to do the fish islands. Oops. But marketing was honestly really fun. Marketing was always another thing that I kind of enjoyed, and honestly, without Jen and Brandon, it would have not been possible. Constantly giving me updates on stuff. I was keeping more of a schedule in check for us to promote our content, or else we were honestly going to be sitting there all day just drawing. So honestly, props to these guys. They were so much help as well.
Yes,
I couldn't have done this stuff without them. So
yeah, our daily schedules were like 3 pages long. It was kind of insane, but we ended up with a good film, and we were like, what if Scott Pilgrim was about 2 girls?
That kiss.
That kiss?
But they didn't.
But they didn't.
Sorry, it was over budget.
Yes, thank
Tragic
you.
Eerie costs a lot.
That's it.
Also, big shout out to Corey. Corey on screen.
Boom, boom, boom. Keep it up. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. So that was great. So that's we're chugging through. Hey, look at this Batman one. It's ready. I'm gonna download it. Things are happening on the background. You'll never know because I'll never tell you. All right, Batman's getting saved in here. So we're gonna jump into the third one? Fourth one. Okay, I'm gonna close that one. Scott Pilgrim's done. And we'll go into that. And we'll go into this. All right, so this one is on Teen Titans Go. Anybody like that show? It's a great show. It's a great show. It's a great show. Is it the best show? I don't know. We'll see. But we're gonna watch it up. We're gonna watch it into our heads, and then we're gonna come and see the team. So here we go.
Go get ghosted!
Wait, can you guys yell it so I can watch the levels? Ah! Okay, can you warn me?
All right, come on, team, you ghostly old crew. Did you guys like the theme this year? Yeah. Yeah, it worked out well. Did it stump anybody? Everybody's like, oh man, like, what am I gonna do? Ghosted? So bad. Appropriate theme. Okay, cool. Let's pull in the director crew here. Come on, crew. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Ghosted. Big button goes forward.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brendan. I was a co-director of Go Get Ghosted, and this is.
I'm Carla. I'm also one of the co-directors for Go Get Ghosted.
And we're kind of like introverts, so we're gonna pass it on to Sam. More extroverted.
Hey guys, I'm the group extrovert, which I was not expecting to be. Woohoo! we are obviously the Teen Titans Go team. Together on the first day, everyone who wanted to pitch, we all got together and we pitched some of the ideas that we had. And we all voted, well, majority of us voted for Brendan's. And honestly, I'm really happy about it. I think they did a great job co-directing. And before anything else, we're gonna get straight into the pre-production stuff with Carla. I don't know how to switch the thing.
I got it.
No, you first. Guys, I might be the extrovert, but I don't know what to say.
So when it came to creating a story, as soon as a theme was announced, I started thinking of ways of interpreting it. And then I decided that I would take both the literal definition and also the ghostly aspect of it. So the story is about this character who is ghosting his date, and by the end, he turns into a ghost. I had more stuff to say, but yeah, that's basically it.
Alright, so as I mentioned, I was one of the co-directors, but I was also on production management, and I helped with the hand-drawn shots, which were the robot at the very end where the wig falls off, and also when he lands after the explosion, all of that was hand-drawn. I also helped with a bit of rigging. So for the production management, I'll talk about basically my favorite task, spreadsheets. I love doing all the spreadsheets. I got a lot of help from my other production management person, Yusra, over there. She helped me with the schedule, and we made sure that the schedule would fit these 4 days that we would be able to work on, because we did not start working on Monday. We only focused on the story that day. And then all of the other spreadsheets were basically divided into pre-production, production, post-production. Everything is color-coded and organized for easy access to the team.
Honestly, we could not have done it without Carla. And that's why I was like, I can't do this job alone. I need a co-director. Great job, Carla. Okay, storyboards.
Wow, long time no see, guys. I was story lead, and along with Yusra, we worked together to take Brendan's idea. We basically put some polish on it, put it into a proper script so that it could be moved onto boards, which were done by me. I started by making my favorite thing in the world, thumbnails on sticky notes. And then I showed up with a big book, and I went, hey guys, here's my big book of thumbnails. We stitched it in together to create the main board that turned into our animation boarding. We had to get it done fast. Most importantly, we needed it to be within 30 seconds, which is a really hard thing to do, especially with the everything that happened. Boards, I love boards so much. Guys, I love being the board guy because you are allowed to be rough, but you're also getting through all of the most important parts of the story. Layouts are derived from the storyboard, key poses, and a lot of the physical jokes started from the boards. So honestly, it is a group effort for boards, but we had to nail this stuff down, and so we tried to get it done as fast as possible, which is why they're kind of rough. I mean, there's just no detail on him except for his butt on there, and it's the best frame. Yeah, and as soon as, while we were working on that, we were also working on all of the design, which I will hand it off to our character design person.
Hi, I'm Selena, and I was responsible for our main character. So after we finalized the design for him, I did the rotations as well as any additional assets. So that would be the hand poses as well as the specialty poses that you see.
Hello. Oh my god, it's in reverse. Okay. I'm Elise. I'm from Vis Dev. I helped with the Vis Dev. I designed our droid and I rotated him, which was super easy because he's a circle. I also did our two main props. The bow tie, I honestly stole straight from the show, Teen Titans Go. And the phone, we wanted it to be like a really simple, basic looking phone, but I still tried to make it fit the really cartoony, colorful style that Teen Titans has. And then, on to production.
Hello, my name is Heian, and I did the layouts and background with the help of Yusra, Selena, and Brendan. As for Teen Titan Go, it's a very simple style with lots of cell shading and clean lines. So there wasn't a lot of texture that was going on. So it made the process a lot faster and simpler. And also for Teen Titans Go, they reuse a lot of their background shots, so that's why we only have 3.
Hello. Oh no, my face is there. Okay. So I'm Jonah. I was the animation lead, and I was also in charge of rigging the main character. So once we got the turnarounds from Selena and Elise for the droid and the main character, I went into node hell and got it, tried to get it working to a functional, a usable rig essentially. And then Brendan helped with rigging the bow tie on him, and then Sam did the rigging for the droid. And then, yeah, we used all the hands and all the substitutions, and then, yeah, we began animating. How do you go next? Is it- Okay, cool. And then, so in animation, we did the roughs first. In hand-drawn, we used Sam's boards, which were already quite clean to start with, and then did some hand-drawing roughs on top. Then we took the rigs in and started rigging and posing it out. And then we sent it off to effects, which is Yusra.
Hi guys, I'm Yusra. I was the FX animator and character lead for this production, and as one does, I looked up lots of references and took a deep hard look at how lasers are approached, as well as some of the other stuff I did. I will say though, I found out from analyzing the Teen Titans Go show and a bunch of other animators' work that lasers are just sharp water. So if you ever need to make lasers in the future, you can do that. And yeah, off to Sam for post-production.
Why am I back? Before I start this one, I almost forgot to do this. I have a request. You guys who volunteered to be part of this, we have to say hello to a very special person. Only one Selena, get over here. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Sam's mom.
This is Brendan, this is Selena. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Okay, get out of here.
We did not plan this.
That's what they want you to think. I saw the group chat. Anyway, editing. Honestly, editing for this was pretty simple. All of the editing we did was in After Effects, and then I exported it into Premiere Pro for audio editing because it's easier to look at the waveforms. We basically took everything into PNG sequences, and then I separated the layers from all of the backgrounds so that I could move around the different buildings, but not all at once. This also made it easier so that I could layer in the definitely hand-drawn, not realistic at all explosions, which were done using a green screen. That's why you can kind of see the green coming in there. It's amazing how good a green screen can look when you do it in like 5 seconds. I also had to get all of the music and the sound effects. You would be shocked at how hard it is to find good sound effects. There's a lot out there, and they're kind of all bad. But once we've all put it together, we got the finished short of Go Get Ghosted! But we can't forget one of our most important people, marketing! Get over here for marketing.
Hello. So I was in charge of marketing, but to be fair, it was kind of a group effort. So at first, we had a very loose idea of what we wanted, but because we didn't want anything too complicated, we went as simple as possible. So first, Brendan, he made the logo design for our short. And with that, it was just purely memes and vibes. We were throwing out suggestions here, there, and picked what we liked the most. And then we tried to, post at least once a day, leading up to the start of the screening. And I think that sums everything up. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Barney.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Come again. We did it. Yes. Teen Titans. The Teen Titans. We got ghosted, and then we got ghosted, and then we got more ghosted. And this one, we're gonna be in a graveyard. Do you guys get spooked out with graveyards? Nobody? You guys don't get scared anymore? In Peterborough, back in my Peterborough days, there was the graveyard on Little Lake, and then it had the Black Angel gravestone, and you're supposed to go there on Halloween. And I never did, but there's still time. Peterborough, Halloween, Black Angel. We visited it. I think I ate poutine sitting on it one time. But we're off. We're gonna go ghosted in the graveyard next. So here we are.
Ronan? Ronan!
Come on down. It's ghosted in the graveyard time. Will the Black Angel of Death be in here? I think so. Or maybe it's the Angel of Life. Or maybe it's the Angel of Killing Time. Hey guys, welcome.
There's a lot of chairs.
Lot of chairs, a lot of chairs. All right, let's get some director action over here.
Yeah.
There you go. Big button goes forward.
Okay, so hello everyone. So we're ghosted in the graveyard. Our theme was Samurai Jack. And here are the roles. I'm Camila, I'm director of the film. Production manager was Mika. For storyboards and story writing was me, Shem, and Mika. BG Paint, Jade, design, Julia, Michaela, Lamia. They did awesome designs. I think they really they really carried. For background paint, we got Jade, Sanam, Julia, Etana. Layout, Etana, Jade, and Sanam. For rigging, Mika and Shem. Basically, I have to say I did not do much of rigging, but thank you so much for doing the rigs. For animation, we got Etana, Lamia, Shem, and me. Post-production, Jade, Sanam, Michaela, Shem, Mika, and me. And marketing, Julia and Jade. And we are all in design. So for starters, the concept and script writing, we started working on the script and storyboards basically on Monday. Me, Shem, and Mika just started doing some brainstorming, and we came up with this story of two friends that are exploring. It used to be a forest, but then we thought maybe a graveyard would be fun because ghosted. So we got the idea of one of them falls into a grave and dies. So he becomes a ghost. However, the other one does not realize that he becomes a ghost, and everything else happened. So we did rough storyboards that day. We spent a lot of time just figuring out the timing and how we wanted it to look. I wanted to have a lot of different framings like they use in Samurai Jack, because that was the stylization. But basically it was a lot of trial and error. It was a learning experience, definitely. So, but I think it turned out all right. We got the we got the storyboards, the rough storyboards, more or less
ready for Tuesday, but we still had a bit of trouble getting revisions, so we kept changing stuff. But yeah, it was a little bit rough, but we got there in the end, so that's what matters. But anyway, I'll give it to Julia, the
Which
character.
button is it? Or do you want to be in charge of the button?
No.
No. Okay. Good. Hi, I'm Julia. I was lead for design for prop and character, and then my team was Michaela and Lamia, which was super fun. So we had 2 characters. We wanted to think about characters as well as props, obviously. And then for Samurai Jack style, it is very kind of iconic, you know, the lineless, and then we only have the line where like 2 kind of same colored shapes are meeting, which was very fun to do. But if you've ever seen Samurai Jack, there's a lot of different characters and a lot of different shapes, which is awesome. However, it kind of posed a little bit of a, almost a challenge for me at least, because I was like, okay, it's all the same. I know it's the same, like it's the same style, but everything is also very, very different. So it was a little bit of like, okay, how can we kind of focus in a little bit? And then in characters, Michaela did Spike. We wanted it to be emo, sharp, daring, kind of like a little bit more confident in comparison to Ronan, who I also voiced. That scream at the end, and yeah, so we wanted them to contrast nicely, so we were thinking about shape language, you know, if he's sharp, maybe a little bit like moody, we're gonna get a little bit more triangular, a little sharper, and we were also thinking about how they contrasted height-wise, but that also led to a bit of an issue because we had the storyboards and then we had to be like, oh wait, they need to be able to be in like a medium shot, but then we can't have Ronan like down here, do you know what I mean? So we kind of had to think about that, but Michaela did an excellent job. We did some exploration, revisions, and this is the really amazing expression sheet that she did, the character sheet for Spike. And then we have Lamia. Do you want to talk a little bit about Lamia?
Hi, I'm Lamia. I designed Ronan with the help of our lead, Julia. So yeah, like you were saying, we want to have 2 characters that really contrasted each other. So we had Spike, who's like pretty angular and like sharp, and then like the complete opposite, like the nerdy type, very fearful, just like a scaredy cat. Yeah.
No, and you guys both did a really, really great job. It was very fun to voice him. Apparently I have a perfect teenage boy voice, so I'll take it. And then props. Wow, if I never have to do a 3/4 back of something with wings again, I'll be happy, you know? Especially because it was interesting because it was so flat in a way, like at least the prop style, how you're designing it, you don't want it to be completely like 3D, you know? It is quite flat. With props though, I did have to think a little bit more about what they were used for, which was really fun because with the angel, it's not like it's gonna move. It's, you know, it's just in the shot. So that was kind of fun because I could cheat a little bit, don't tell, but like the wingspan and everything in different shots based on what we wanted, like to exaggerate a little bit, whereas the headphones are pretty straightforward. I know they're gonna be needed to be used, so they have to be pretty kind of seamless in terms of turning. And now we have the background design team, if Tana wants to say.
Hi, I'm Itana. I'm part of the design team, and for actually, can I go next? Okay, yeah. So for our graveyard design concept, Samurai Jack uses a lot of very strong like shape choices and shape language. So I wanted to capture that with like really pointed trees and like big like these like pointed like squarish graves, so that it gives off this like an uninviting feel to the graveyard. Yeah, and then this is like
more of the location designs and explorations that we did. And for layout, I'll let Jade explain it. Yeah.
Hi guys. So Itana is technically the head of layout, and I'm the head of BG Paint. Okay, so we started with counting how many shots we're doing, and that's like how much we're doing, and started like putting trees and graves that we painted a lot together and building like a scene. And so here are some of the black and white before painted. And in BG Paint, we did a lot of color script and color keys to figure out which color we want to go with. And thanks to Meg Simmons, our digital paint professor, we got a lot of help from her. So we deserve her. Take that, Tucker. So with the help of Itana, Julia, me, and Sanam, who isn't here, he's taking his test. Good luck to him. We got our 10-something BGs down by like the second or third day of production. And never again I want to paint 6 backgrounds in one day. I'll pass it to the rigging team.
You, whatever. Nico. So basically, the rigging was a struggle because, okay, so our plan was just basically build the rigs. Later on, we had like the designs. We wanted to build the rigs on the designs and then just animate everything. That was not a good plan because we were just learning how to rig. So we had to kind of improvise when the rigs weren't, because they were breaking a lot. It was hard to make them. And well, I personally learned that, yeah, you can just trust that the rigs are gonna be, they're gonna be like professional or they're just gonna work. Of course not. So we had to improvise. We ended up still using a lot of traditional animation here and there. But yeah, it was stressful. It led to a lot of a bit of rush work here and there.
The rigs were great.
But I mean, yeah, you had a lot of fun with them. I don't know how you did it. but yeah. So anyway, do you want to say something about it? Since you constructed one of them.
I went into the morning being like, I will get this rig done at 2 p.m. I should have changed that to a.m. There was just a lot of moving parts that was a little hard to manage, and there was a lot of like hand substitutions and other substitutions that we kind of cheated on. So there was just a lot of moving parts for sure, and keeping like with the proportions and making sure that the two were like proportionately close to each other. But I learned a lot, and like Shem was really good too with like, so I did the Ronin rig and then Shem did the Spike rig, and we really learned a lot with building the rigs. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Because yeah, otherwise I don't know. I don't know what we would have done. Like, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. Here are the rigs. Yeah, we try to post them. They look really good. I mean, really good. Like it's just. Oh, sorry. I went too far. I went too far. But yeah, it's just things that happen.
There was just a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. we should have planned ahead more, probably. So yeah, when it came to the animation, I just grabbed all of the animators and put them to animate. And we did a lot of, recording ourselves to see the poses. And yeah, that's basically it for animation, I think. Marketing team, do you want to come again?
Sure. So, hi, I'm Julia again. I was marketing lead, which was super fun. We did a couple fun things. One thing that I did was, if anyone goes to the Seneca Vis Dev or the 2D Instagram, there's a little title card. Jade painted the BG as well as the font and everything, but I did some compositing and made it glow. It was very cool, and I learned how to use a camera and a peg at the same time. It was very, very cool. Well, I thought it was. But if you want to check it out, it's on the Instagram. And then we also did, me and Jade in collaboration did the poster, which I really like. And then did anyone see the Sparkle On meme? Yeah. That was also us. That was Jade. Had the amazing idea of like, what if we did the Sparkle On and then it's Spike? And he's like, no sparkle, because he wouldn't vibe with the sparkles, you know? But marketing was really fun all around. We wanted to make sure that we were doing it a little bit more consistently to kind of hype it up and just kind of give the overall feel for what our short would be about. And look, that's when he dies. But thank you.
Good job. Good job, everyone. Everyone, well done, well done. Another one. Another ghosted. Another cartoon done. Another ghosted. But now we're going to get into a cartoon that's going to be cute. It's going to be cute and cuddly. So we had gravestones and spiky head people and angels of death, and now we're going to travel into the enchanted world of Puffin Rock. So let's do it. It's called The Figure of Boolach Beach. Boolach? 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 I don't know. You're gonna watch it though.
It's a quiet, foggy night on the beach. Oh, there's Tucker, exploring the rocky shore. What is that? Is that a ghost? Run! Smart thinking. You'll be safe in there. It's the ghost! Wait a minute. Is that... Oh my goodness. It's just Fiona. You gave us quite a scare. Now all is well on Boolach Beach.
Here we are. We're back. Back from the Boolach. Boolach. Hey, come on over, Boolahs.
Oh,
All Puffin's here.
We've got a Puffin.
You got a Puffin. All right, this big button, that goes forward. Mr.
Okay,
Puffin.
gotcha. Hello, I'm Finn. I'm the co-director of the figure of Boolach Beach. Before I get started, I just wanted to give a massive thank you to my team who absolutely killed it. I was amazed every day by the amount of effort put in. I would also like to give a massive thank you to our voice actor, Raphael, who was willing to voice our silly little bird film. Like, the voice lines he sent in were absolutely incredible, and we cannot thank him enough for doing that for us. So for Toon Week, we were given our teams and the show style on Friday and the theme on Monday. So most of the weekend was me and my co-director, Sonia, figuring out roles, spreadsheets, all of the nitty-gritty behind-the-scenes production stuff, so that the transition from about to make a film to actually making a film could be as smooth as possible. Once that theme dropped on Monday, me and my team, we discussed, we spitballed ideas for our film, and we picked out one, and then me and my co-screenwriter, Leo, scurried away to write the script as quickly as possible, mostly because there's not much you can do without a script if you don't know what characters and backgrounds you're doing. So once that was done, we handed it off to our team and got started on boards. Monday was our first day of production. getting the boards, first pass of boards roughed out while our design team in the background got started on their first pass of characters. Tuesday, first official day of production, we got our boards finalized in the morning and started recording lovely reference images for the shots, as well as getting a first pass at getting some rough animation done before putting it into rigs. And I'm gonna pass it off to our character lead, Kyo, who's gonna talk about our characters.
Which one is the best?
Oh, it's the big one in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm the character and prop lead. And first of all, I want to thank Rel so much. They did a lot of characters. They made Tucker, and I was in charge of Fiona. So we both worked really hard especially over the weekend, where we just gathered a lot of resources, and we could just kickstart on Monday, where we actually got the theme. So we looked a lot into the Scottish coastline for the birds inspirations, and Rel came up with the kingfisher, and then for the owl, at first it was just some random bird, but Finn gave us the idea of actually using an owl, so we went with the longhorn owl. So that kind of got rid of the trouble of actually trying to find colors for the characters. But so coming in Monday, we actually sketched, roughed out everything, and then we basically finished our characters on Tuesday and passed on everything to our layout and rigging team just on the day of. So we were really thankful of how hard everyone worked. So yeah.
Dude, did somebody mention layout? Dude, did somebody mention layout? Hi, I'm Mimi. I was background, layout, and paint lead. I am layout's biggest fan. Anyone who tells you otherwise is a liar. So I was in charge of overseeing the process of layout from sketch to render. After getting boards and script from our wonderful boarding team, I designed our initial location and oversaw how the other backgrounds developed. One shot per person with a strict adherence to show style and texture and color, with the help of a layout and color style guide that I made, and our beautiful long pan that started as location design, then became layout, and then also became a color script somewhere in the middle. I don't know, but it worked out, and that's what matters. Most of it was pretty seamless. We started with sketches, and then we moved into not really lines. Puffin Rock is a lineless show, and so we started with quote unquote lines. They're more like tie downs, and we moved straight into blocking and painting afterwards. We did have the boards change in the middle of production of those layouts, but it worked out because it actually saved us time. And we also had a couple of fumbles with the over-under texturing and changing up the colors from a cool analogous palette to a warmer palette in shot 4, seen up over there, to give contrast between two quote-unquote locations. But you know what? It worked out, and I'm very proud of our backgrounds team for getting things done efficiently and effectively. Who's next? I have crippling stage anxiety. Take this.
Hi, so I'm part of a two-man rigging team, but our lead respectfully does not want to present, but that's okay. So while layout was being done, we received the character rotations, and before we got the colors, we were looking at it, just cleaning up the rotations just in case to make it up to the rotation standard, since the show is very smooth, it's very realistic. So I did the Fiona rig, and Sonia, our rigging team leader, did the Tucker rig. And most of the challenges was just to figure out how to do the lineless style while also having some texturing, as you can see in Fiona's head and Tucker's back and head also. And we also wanted to be very economical with the rig. Like, we looked closely at the storyboard and see what substitutions we do and we don't need, so like we don't have 5 different expressions that just don't go used and like 5 different wings that just don't get used. So we did everything that we could, also make it very animatable, make it very workable, and like it's very compact and neat. So our animation team, which is next, wouldn't tear their hair out. Here's Leo.
So hey everyone, my name's Leo. I'm the animation lead for this project. So we had a team of 4 animators in our group. Basically, we just had to pull everything that the team had made before us so that we were able to animate the film. So like boards, rough footage, and layout, while also keeping the style of Puffin Rock. However, having 4 different animators, it's hard to keep the show on style. So I do have to give another shout out to Sonia for keeping us on style. We only had 1 day to animate, so we were in crunch time yesterday up until midnight, but luckily we have a really talented team, so we were able to pull it off. Another thing that really helped us too, we swapped shots halfway through the day when we were getting, really frustrated. So I think that helped us like give perspective, and we were able to get it done. So yeah, I'll pass it back to KS.
Hi. It's me again. I am the effects and compositing lead because I like when things look very cool. So basically all of our compositing was done in Harmony because it is very simple, at least I think, to drag and drop things into different shots and they look the same across different shots. That's crazy. So with the work of some effects and also of our Vis Dev team, so Finn did the lightning effect, as you can see with that top left shot. And the fog was done by our Vis Dev students, specifically Rel, right? Rel, yes. And just putting it all together with some blur, with some color correction, really like make just everyone's work just pop off. Like it just ties it all together. And after that, I export, and that is on to post-production. That is Alessia.
Hi. So I was marketing lead, and I'm very thankful that my team let me do whatever I wanted for this. So I just picked some of my favorite memes, and I just went at it, and I drew Tucker in all of these different I don't know, positions. I have so many more, but I didn't include all of them here. I also wanted to allude to Fiona, but not show too much to give away a lot of it. So in some of them you can see her in the background or with the shadows. Yeah, it was pretty simple. Yeah, I didn't have much of a marketing plan for this, but yeah, thank you guys for coming out and watching this and everything.
Woo woo, puffins! Who doesn't like puffins? Hundreds of puffins. Hundreds of puffins. Is the other thing too, but it's going to end very soon because we have 2 left. So we got our second last one. Whoa, I got their notes. Look at this. Rigging, economical, only that's needed from storyboards due to time constraints. Great, I like it. All right, we're gonna go to the next one. This one is simply called Ghosted. Now, this one has the Pickwick pack design, which some of our teachers and some of our grads have worked on Pickwick pack in the past. So it's a little throwdown for some of our homies out there. All right, Pickwick pack, here we go, Ghosted.
Where'd you run off to? Huh? Oh, don't fail me now! Haha, very funny, Millie!
All right, come on down, Ghosted crew. The real Ghosted. Do you think you used the theme better because you used the theme as the title?
I don't know. We used it pretty simply, pretty traditionally.
All right. Here you go. Big button goes forward.
Big button goes forward? You got it. Okay. Yeah, so I got my team passed by behind me first before I start. I'm Nick. I directed Ghosted in the style of Pickwick Pack. I actually ended up kind of being a late addition to the team, and I'm really glad I was because this team was like amazing to work with. Like I loved them so much. I think the big thing with the Pickwick Pack art style, like I would call it deceptively simple, because you look at it and you're like, oh, like, you know, simple flat backgrounds. It is so flat that like our constant critique that we were constantly getting was like, your background is too dynamic, fix that. There's too much perspective, get rid of that, which is crazy after like a year and a half of like constantly working with perspective and everything. And the one place that there was a lot more dynamic stuff to do was in the animation side. And unlike a lot of other teams, we actually did not have a chance to start any pre-production stuff until we came in on Tuesday because of plans that people had on like over the weekend. So we had a lot of like design elements set up. We had a lot of things like that planned ahead, and we were practicing getting a feel for the art style. But we did not start storyboarding, fully rendering out the script or anything until Tuesday morning. So we definitely had a bit of a crunch on certain things. I won't keep us too long because all of us are running on like less than 2 hours of sleep. So I'll start with pre-production. The button's not working, Barney. Big button?
Well, yeah, it's the big button, but probably you just gotta click there and then it's good. Go.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, just the credits. We'll like pull people up as they come. Pre-production was like the big one, so I'll have like pre-production leads come on up. That's like background character. You guys want to talk about it a little bit?
So I was in charge of the script. On day 0, I guess, we got together and we talked about just very basic ideas of what we were thinking of doing for our story. And right off the bat, I just decided to write the script. I knew I wanted to keep it simple and cute, and I really wanted to to be able to execute a twist at the end, something that like hasn't really been seen before, something that people weren't expecting.
Yeah, come on, Grace.
So I did the storyboarding, and how we first came up, well, we'll use the script, and we discussed like the kind of camera moves we wanted to do. So I started with the thumbnails, and Nick and Ed helped me with a lot of feedback, and I did a bunch of revisions and started on the cleanup for the storyboard, and also did some rigging animation and checking everyone's scenes, make sure everything hooked up, and the 2D animation for the cloth movement.
I want to say Grace did the entire board, and it looked amazing. Like the action, it was so good.
Also, I wanted to say that I really enjoyed working on our team, especially with Nick. He's amazing. Awesome. That's cool.
So me and Maddie were co-leads for character design. So again, on day 0, right after I wrote the script, I put together some basic designs for potential like animals and characters. My team knew that we wanted to do Canadian animals, so I tried to stick with that. And then on day 1, we decided to stick with a moose and a beaver for our 2 main characters, and Maddie went through all the exploration and got our beaver character to where it ended up being.
That's magical. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is what our beaver character ended up looking like, as you guys saw. Something about this show that was already mentioned is that this is like the flattest show on earth. Like there's literally no dimension to it. So something that was kind of tricky about creating this character is that the shape of it, like nothing in it overlaps, like facial wise. So that was kind of tricky. And there's also beavers that already are in this show. They appear occasionally. So we also wanted to kind of come up with something that wasn't like super similar. We wanted to kind of have our own spin on it. So this is kind of what we came up with. And then color-wise, you can kind of see like down there, I was just kind of playing around with some colors and seeing what we wanted to do. We kind of had more of a Halloween vibe for this, so we wanted to go with something that would kind of give Halloween, but still give like a character that you'd see in the show. And in the show, you can see some of the character inspiration down there at the bottom too. There's not really a character that has more of like a reddish tone, so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of play around with that and see what we can come up with, and that's what we got.
For the ghosts, again, I just created some roughs. Using kind of like the base designs for my animals, I kind of just put like sheets on them, and we kind of wanted to keep that silhouette of like the animal ears, especially with the moose, so that it would kind of be like a funny little gimmick. And then for the colors, we were thinking, okay, the ending, they're in a maze, okay, so Pac-Man. So then I decided to put some Pac-Man-like colors on the ghosts.
Yeah, so Luna was our prop designer, and she did some like really, really cool stuff. She fully came up with like the flashlight. Unfortunately, I'm so bummed we didn't end up getting to use I wanted to put him somewhere, but we just couldn't fit him in, this little scarecrow. It was like my favorite thing ever, and I'm so upset that it didn't happen. But like Luna not only was like doing amazing stuff with props, she was like saving our butts with walk cycle animation. We like had her on one scene for like several hours, and she knocked it out. I think it was the longest scene in our entire like production, and she knocked it out of the park. So I like shout out Luna. And then like our layout team ended up using like these prop designs, and I like rigged just a simple version of like the flashlight and everything, and the pumpkins were like imported into the background and everything. Marketing.
So me and Maddie were co-leads for marketing as well. I knew for the posters, I wanted to keep it fun, shapy, simple, just like the show. For our first poster, the purple one, my inspiration was like a classic vintage horror movie poster with like the really dark shading, like the shadow. So that's kind of like what I went for that one. And then our second one, we have a maze in our short film. So I was like, okay, wouldn't it be funny to do like a corn maze? And then that could be our second promo. And we also did like a little Pac-Man GIF. Do you want to talk about that, Maddie?
Yeah, so we did like a little Pac-Man GIF. We were given the idea of having our main like beaver character kind of like run into some ghosts at the end and then kind of have it be like a looping thing. And when you think about a maze, you think of Pac-Man. So we were like, let's do something like that. And that's kind of what we did. So this is actually a GIF, but surprise, it's a poster for right now. But yeah, essentially it just kind of loops around just like our character was that you saw earlier, and he's just kind of running around getting trapped with the ghosts. So yeah, that kind of sums it up right there.
Go look at the Instagram if you want to see the GIF. It's really good.
Hello, I'm Michelle. I was one of the background design co-leads, and I was mainly responsible for doing the opening scene of our animated short. And so the thing with Pickwick Pack is that there's pretty much like no perspective in this very flat show. So even though it was very flat, we still wanted it to be very shapy and very round, and that's kind of what I try to do with these thumbnails. And so, yeah, we ended up picking one of these thumbnails, and we went through several different designs and concepts to make it, and yeah. These are just like some of like the background layout tie-downs. Yeah, there was a lot of reworking and revising to do with this, but yeah. And then this ended up being our clean for the background opening scene. Honestly, I like how it turned out. I really like how it turned out. It maintained like the style of Pickwick while also being its own unique way. And yeah, I will pass it on to Romeo.
Yeah, working on the designs for this was pretty difficult because I've never done like this kind of style where it's really flat. And trying to figure out how to do that with the perspective shot was especially difficult because you can't just creating perspective while using only flat shapes was pretty like unusual, and I've never done that before. And so these are the final. And while I was working on these, I also had to learn how to actually fill and like do the white fill, so you can do the colors and paint later.
Romeo was also in Vis Dev and like had never done any of like the layout scenes like this, and he was working on our pan that I think had 6 different shots, and like this only has 3 of them. It was like a mess of these field guides, and like honestly, props to you for like picking that up and like learning how to do that.
Yeah, so these are the final ones. Yeah, and I also did the other shot for the flashlight scene, and that was pretty simple, which I actually liked doing. Yeah. And
I'm Eddie. I did the color scripting and BG paint. Like Nick was saying, it's actually deceivingly hard to paint very simply, and I'm someone who loves to complicate things. But while I was doing this, I found it was actually very easy to paint these after like hours and hours and hours of struggle. And shout out to Ashleaf, who worked on the show, who actually helped us kind of hone it in and really, give us some good inside scoops. Yeah, we have the pen of Romeo's BG that he did. The top is like kind of a color exploration. On the right, we have some color explorations as well. Again, some more color explorations. Then this was the final paint for Michelle's opening scene. Yeah, just again, hours and hours of struggle, and Ashley really had a good chuckle seeing me bash my head against the wall for like a 3 to 4 year old, show.
Ashley, seriously, like, she was like coming in with like the tips of like, this is how we did it on the show.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was so sick.
Yeah, it was very, but she waited a bit to watch us struggle, and then she kind of stepped in. Oh, did I go too far? I'm gonna go back one more. Yeah, this was just the POV shot with the 1-point perspective, which was actually the hardest one, even though it's a more natural way to paint, because I had just painted flat backgrounds for hours, and then the point of view was like, well, I'm gonna get too carried away and overcomplicate this, but I think it kind of turned out nice, and I had a lot of help from everyone, and it's easy to paint again with a great layout, so shout out to the layout team. Yeah.
Okay, so we came up with like several different concepts for like the title card. We wanted it to still keep it like Pickwick style, but we also wanted it to be unique. And so I ended up coming up with a bunch of different concepts for the title card. And then after that, we ended up doing like a big group vote on Discord to see like which one we liked the most. And then we ended up choosing this one. And then I also had help from Eddie to choose like the flat colors for this one as well. And yeah, I think I really like how it turned out. And then I will pass this on to production team.
Okay, so first of all, I wanted to do this earlier and have a chance. Tomo was the backbone of our operation, production manager, spreadsheets, we would not have gotten this finished if it wasn't for the organization that you provided. I'm so serious. Like, we would have been totally screwed, for lack of a better word.
Am I talking about animation now, I think?
Do you want to? Yeah.
Sure, why not? Let's get into it. The 2D animation process, honestly, it's made a lot easier when you have skilled 2D animators, and I'm very lucky. I had a fantastic team of animators. Nick, you roughed out poses like it was going out of style so fast. It was insane, actually. Keeping up with you was a little hard. Luna, your animation skills with rigs is like a little scary, actually. I definitely have some improvement to do myself on walk cycles. Thank you for doing them for me. Grace, your animation with, you'll actually see in a minute, I'll show you guys, but traditionally animated the blanket flip. You saw that gorgeous, beautiful, oh my god, I could watch it for hours. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's easy to animate when you have incredible animators, right? So yeah, Eddie helped so much, Michelle helped so much. I was very lucky. We have an incredibly collaborative team. So
Tell us about your rig.
Oh boy. Here's some more 2D animation, because why not, right? frustratedly hitting a flashlight.
Shout out Eddie for doing all of the ghost,
God.
like traditionally looped ghosts.
Yeah, no, these ended up being probably one of my favorite parts of the entire animation because they're just adorable and I could watch them do that floaty thing for hours. Moving right along. Okay, here is the beaver that I birthed. This is Bo. This is the node view. It gave me a headache. I want to say a huge shout out to Onda. They absolutely made sure that my rig was 85% less broken than it would have been. So thank you, Onda. Thank you very much. Thank you to Nick for rigging the flashlight. That was very helpful. And thank you so much to the design team for drawing up the subs. Thank you to Nick for putting them in. Yeah, I mean, like, it was a pretty easy rig to build considering I didn't have to make a pelvis or, you know, anything else besides a shirt and a head and some feet. So, you know, I'm pretty lucky in that regard. What else? Oh, rigged animation.
Oh yeah, so
Get in here.
I personally work better with traditional animation, and working on this actually made me realize I can actually rig if I just traditionally animate it all first. But my roughs are really, really rough. They're like embarrassing to show, so like they're pretty rough. So like it ends up going pretty quickly. It's like the rigging that comes in after. I think one thing with this show is it is rigged, but it is so bouncy. Like if you watch it, every movement, every blink has an antic. Every like arm point has like an entire body overshoot, whatever. It's so extreme, and that's probably because it's for like 4-year-olds. But it's honestly like it has like a really nice feeling to it. So we were really trying to like push the acting. Like the big note for rigged animation this entire time was like push the acting. I did end up doing one traditionally animated. I think I'm pointing at it. That's so cool. This one right here, I ended up doing like a traditionally animated hand for it because I was like, rigging that it's just not gonna work out. But the rigging team was like amazing. We basically were handing people shots and saying, "Go get him, Tiger," and they were.
We got him.
Yeah, we absolutely were. They were coming back, and I was doing some revisions, but it was like very minimal. It was like a little more of this, fix the ease here, like. The work that was being, and actually it was crazy, as we all started like getting into the style, fewer and fewer revisions to the point that like they were passing me shots and I was like, this is ready to go. Like it was cool to like see everyone kind of like getting into the like vibe of the show. More of this, the moose was traditionally drawn, but then we used like a peg just to like move it around and keep the loop going, make it a little simpler. And Grace did this amazing like seaweed, just beautiful shot of the character like pulling the sheet, which was just, dude, she sent the shot at like, because we stayed up all night doing animation. She sent the shot at like, I want to say like 4 a.m. and we all lost it in the Discord. It was like, yeah. It basically made our one very long day.
God forbid you show animators a blanket moving.
Yeah. And then Maddie did this amazing like rig. I think you built, where are you? You built the whole like backdrop in Harmony, right?
Yeah,
like,
mine helped me as
yeah,
well.
you guys were both working. Lovely. It was really cool to like have that like little style switch. I think it was a great idea that we got. And then last little bit, just some post-production stuff, which was.
I, for whatever reason, just absolutely love fiddling with comps because I could just sit there and tweak stuff for hours, unless you stop me, of course, which you have to stop me at some point.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, we were running out of time. But honestly, the compositing on this was really fun because it was so simple and because the rig was so simple and because, all of the animation was so simple. It was really easy to get some really nice rim light going. A little glow and transparency on the ghost there. And after I put the comps together, just pasting them into every single shot, it ended up not taking too long, and things, I like to think ended up looking pretty clean and snazzy and colorful. So, and obviously I couldn't have done it again without the support of my wonderful team. Being able to just be like, hey guys, could you just like take all these comps and throw them at scenes for me so I can focus on trying to make them look pretty. But yeah, no, it was honestly just, at this point it was both extremely stressful but also really fun. So, and yeah,
Thank you so much for watching.
Ghosted! They did it! They're the ghosters. There you go. Yes, there you go. There you go. There you go. The backbone. Y'all went by. We're on our last one now, folks. If you can believe it. If you can believe it, it's going to be called the Cold Returns. But you know what I got to do, though, first, is I got to queue up into here. So you guys that are at home and you guys that are in the audience, just pretend like this part isn't happening. Okay, nothing happened. No, I was not doing anything and it was fine. So we're going to see the Cold Returns right here on the old Seneca 2D Vis Dev stream. So much face blood just going right down on your face blood. It hurt my poor little face. All right, come on, guys. You crazy old face bleeders. Yeah, here we go. There you go, big button, make it rain. Last one.
Hi, I'm Josiah. I was the Vis Dev lead, but I will be filling in for our director as she cannot be here. But it's okay, it's all right. We all definitely did try on this project. It was very much a labor of love, as a lot of us, or at least a good handful of us, are pretty passionate about the stylistic inspiration of this show, Batman. So we did want to sort of really get the essence of what like the show's style was, the feel, the tone, and everything like that. I would say it was definitely like a big, ambitious taking. And, you know, we might have bit off more than we chewed, but I feel like it did certainly pay off. And I feel like our team really did a wonderful job, despite like other setbacks. So yeah, this is our stylistic inspiration. This is like a lot of inspirations that we took, obviously from the main show, but with me sort of being like the Vis Dev lead, visually I did want to take other cues from other sorts of like very pulpy action, comic book stuff. So here we have like over on the right side we have like Lobster Johnson from Hellboy, let's put the camera in place, and other stuff like that. I was also one of the writers along with Isaac and Elaine. So basically how we started was we had to sort of think what would a sort of supernatural superhero story kind of look like. So we did start off with our script, obviously. I was mostly the one writing, but Elaine and Isaac all came up with like certain ideas of like, you know, what is the main conflict, what is the main theme, because, you know, the word ghosted itself is not necessarily a theme, that's more so a topic. So we wanted to sort of expand upon that. And we ended up coming across how like revenge can be very like unfulfilling, you know, and it can't really make you, you know, whole, basically. I feel like it's a very, I feel like it's a very central superhero story to sort of tell. And we will get into some pre-production stuff. So if Laviva for character design.
Your character first.
Yeah, but
Yeah, over here. Hi guys, I'm Laviva.
oh no.
Oh,
Storyboards
it's
first.
story.
Storyboards first. As you can
hello, I'm Isaac. I was helping out with the storyboards for our project, and this is Shion. Come into camera. Right here. Yeah. He was also helping out. Our lead boardist, Selena, unfortunately got sick and cannot be here, so we will be talking about how we went through the process of the boarding. Oh, wait, oops. Oh, oops. Yeah.
So we got pretty ambitious story, but I still think we nailed pretty much of the essence of story in like 30-second time limit, which was very hard, and we took more time to board than we expected, but I think it turned out really well, and I'm happy what we've done.
What's your superhero's name?
We'll get there.
Okay.
that's actually just sometimes. So our main hero that you saw here take the pipe to the head. His name is Professor Geist. He is a ghost hunter superhero, sort of like a archaeologist, man by day, teacher at a university, and a superhero ghost fighter at night. His character design was obviously very inspired by Batman, but since we're turning it into a bit more of a supernatural twist, we thought that something that a bit more creepier. He has like those big like bug goggle eyes that I imagine that even as a ghost would look scary. Like, oh, who is this guy? Like, what type of tech and gadgets he can use to like capture me, stuff like that, and also giving like the tone of like him being a very like high-tech hero, as I said before. The bully was very simple. To be fully honest, I kind of just lifted a character from the show and gave him Batman's color scheme. But yeah, wanted to make him like a goon, a mook, bad guy. Yeah, you did.
What do I press?
Left
Oh,
and
this
right.
one. Okay, so this is Al Bobby. He's a ghost. He's a mob boss. Well, he appears to be a mob boss, but essentially he's just a scared child. So when he was human, he got hit on the head with a pipe by the bully, and so he comes back for vengeance as a mob boss to scare him. But then when the hero stops him and he gets that realization that, hey, this is not me, this is not gonna fulfill me, he goes back to his child self, which is his true self. So I explored some designs, and at first it was looking like the Joker and the Penguin, and then I got really good feedback from my teammates, and they're like, hey, it looks too much like the show, which is what we want, but not exactly like the show. So then I did more explorations, and then I came up with our mob boss, and Lucia colored it, and Shion helped me do the front view. So yeah, this is our final lineup. Props, Lucia. This one.
Hi, so I did the one and only prop on the show. It was the pipe. Yeah, very simple. It's just a slightly more complicated cylinder. I looked up a pipe. I picked the colors. One thing about the show is that it uses Pantone colors, so I just picked a gray that matched the hero. And Josiah also made a poster that we used in the background.
Oh, that's me. Color script. So I co-art directed this film, and I did the color script. So looking at the style, it was very dramatic. We made like a style guide, and we realized that the show is very intense with their colors, and it's very dark. And I wanted the light to be a source that directs the eye. And I think with the time we had, the animators did pretty well trying to match with the color script that we did have. And yeah, so production, layout, Osana, that's you.
What did I press? This, oh. Hi, I'm Osana, and I was layout lead for this amazing team. Lucia did an amazing job with assisting me with actual, how should I say this?
It was a collaborative effort.
Yes, because this style was, honestly, it was my first time seeing the show at all, like anything about it. And it's such a cool style, and I had a lot of fun trying to replicate like the buildings they draw and type of layouts they have, because they were obviously like very reliant on like paint in their layouts. So yeah, I basically just helped our amazing paint team draw like the structure and what's the paint? Yes, paint.
Thank you. So this is one of our money shots. So it took a lot of my time, and this is like the amazing layout that Osana drew that I painted here. And I took inspiration from the show and the Vis Dev work that was done on the show. A lot of it, we approached layout painting like inking, like comic book inking. So we first blocked out like the shadows with pure black or really dark blue, and then we applied paint and to get the style that we have. And so there's like grain, I don't know if it's visible, but there's very slight texture on the film, in the style. And so we applied that with like a grain brush, and then we got the look. And at first we had different colors for the buildings in the color script, as you saw. But then while we were painting, we realized, hey, maybe since we don't have enough time, maybe we just make all the buildings the same color. And two of the most important buildings are a different shade of blue, so they stand out. So we're like cutting corners, but smartly, right? And this amazing shot of the credit scene that you see is painted by Lucia and drawn by Mark. And it's basically an homage to the the show's storyboard technique. So if you look at Batman 90s storyboards, you'll see that they kind of do this bluish, grayscale theme in their drawing. So that's what we were paying homage to. Yeah. Animation.
Hello once again. I am the animation lead for this project. I will say we did have a lot of trials and tribulations with this, but our style was actually very challenging to work with because we went full 2D, hand-drawn with this. We had a lot of sleepless nights over this, honestly, and
We didn't.
we did not have sleep, no. As you can see here, like, a lot of the frames are very rough because we were running out of time, but we tried our best with what we could to try to emulate the style of the show. And you can see here that, like, there's a lot of, like, what do you call it? There's a lot of holding and pausing on a lot of the frames due to this restriction and our time. I just want to thank the entire team for helping us get all the keys cleaned and all the roughs in and stuff, because we have 3 animators and we were really behind, and they helped us catch up, and the compositing and editing really helped elevate our rough line animation here to actually fit the style of the show. And I think it came out a lot better than I was actually expecting it to. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wait. Elaine is not here, but rigging. So our
We rigged the pipe.
one pipe, which
was
doesn't
very
even
complex.
turn or doesn't do anything. It was just
this.
stick.
So,
But
oh.
yeah, no, go ahead.
So originally, we wanted actually the hero's cape and the ghost's coattail to actually be rigged, but we ultimately just decided to keep it simple and go for the rigging of the pipe instead. You can't really tell in the animation, but the smear frame when the ghost slams down the pipe and when it's hitting the hero's head is actually rigged, and that's where this came in. We just deformed it basically in order to help sell that animation. But yeah, that's really about it. It's a pipe.
Hi again. I helped like composite most of the things. Actually, I was compositing like an hour ago because we were still trying to finish it. But yeah, it was my last effort of trying to make the show or our film as close to the style as possible. And yeah, like I wish I had more time playing with the effects. But I feel like in such a time crunch and like how long did I use? I think I only used like maybe four hours for all 10 scenes that we had. So yeah.
And she hasn't slept since 8 a.m. yesterday.
I'm sure everyone in this room was also like not sleeping, but yeah, that's basically it.
Also, without Osana, we would have had a really hard time with the style, so
Yes.
yeah, getting the
She's
style of
co-art
the show.
director, so.
Yes, I'm co-art.
Okay, so marketing. So the idea for marketing that I had was we'd keep the hero under wraps and his identity, you know, hidden, but we'd show the ghost. And so we did like a post where it's like, oh, wanted ghost, have you seen him around town? You know, report him if you have. And then I did like the banner where I did like the hero in like an ink style, paying homage to like their storyboards once again, because I really love their boards. You should go look at it, guys. Really great. And then Josiah did this really, really cool title card that looks amazing. And I don't know the comic artist that you're referring to here.
I don't know either.
Okay,
But,
well, that's great.
I found like a really cool like grainy comic book cover art, and I thought that they played with the composition very well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, the people did touch it up. When you see like the actual like title card at the start, I feel like it looks a lot better. But with this,
No,
it was just
you
like
did really good.
It was grain brushes and fonts.
Yeah, we have an Art Deco style, if you can't tell, but we have a hint of Art Deco in there. We felt like it was appropriate with Batman. And, oh my god, what's this? That's our presentation.
Good job. There they go. The last group. Wow, what a bunch of great cartoons that were made in 4 days by a bunch of tired folks. So let's give it a round of applause for you. Well, that's all we have for now. If you guys want to see more of those great memes and social media stuff, check out the Seneca 2D Instagram, Seneca Vis Dev Instagram, and you can check it out later. Otherwise, thanks everybody. As we leave, we'll see you again soon. I'm Barnabas. Goodbye.